Thank you so much. In the name of God, the merciful, the compassionate, distinguished members of the audience, friends, and yes, family, I'm so pleased tonight that both my son and my daughter are here to share with me this moment. What an honor it is to me to receive tonight the Lotus Circle Award. I want to thank the members of the board of the Lotus Circle and of the Asia Foundation for celebrating the progress that has been achieved in Afghanistan. Okay, thank you. But with your permission, I would like to accept this award in the name of all Afghan women who are day in and day out working hard to rebuild their society. May this award encourage them in their endeavors, and may it be a harbinger of peace and of better days to come. 19 months ago, in his inaugural speech as President of the Islamic Republic of Afghanistan, my husband introduced me as his Hamsar, or life partner, and predicted that I would soon be busy championing the needs of the displaced populations, the downtrodden, and the poor. He knows me well. Maybe it is because of a secure childhood in a loving family. Maybe it is because I grew up during the last golden years of the Middle East. I never had to worry about myself or my future. Always curious about my surroundings, trying to figure out why and how things happened around me. I felt empathy towards those who were not as lucky. Still, nothing had prepared me to be a First Lady. I took it slowly at first. After all, I was navigating uncharted waters. But before I knew it, my office was inundated with delegation after delegation of well-wishers. They came from all corners of the country. Most of them were women, and I suddenly realized that my presence, my willingness to assume a public stance, was answering a deep need among my fellow citizens, the need for a leading figure, an elder who will always welcome them, listen to them, at times admonish them, at times cheering them on, and with whom they can share their worries, their hopes, their dreams. They have taught me so much. Through their accounts and reminiscences, I discovered a resilient, resourceful people, made wise by years of suffering and loss, yet persistently seeking the way to a better life. The women in particular displayed a remarkable mixture of patience, strength, and dedication. If Afghanistan emerged in 2001 from 23 years of conflict and civil war, still alive, despite all the destruction and chaos, it is because the women of Afghanistan steadfastly clung to whatever remained of their families and kept a semblance of normalcy around them. I am proud to be their Banu-e-Awal, their First Lady. I consider it a privilege, and I cherish the occasions such as tonight to be able to speak on their behalf. It is my privilege to be able to get so close to the people around me, so as to get to know them intimately. Some call me sister, others mother, still others prefer the more respectful Bibi Jan. Thanks to this closeness, they can speak up their mind and keep me informed of their daily tribulations. It is my privilege that I can be available and accessible to listen to them, to coax out from them possible solutions to their problems, to facilitate their way in implementing those solutions. It is my privilege that it is my privilege to be able to follow their progress and cheer them on in their efforts. It can be so rewarding to see them succeed. I'm thinking, for example, of this woman who, with a staff of 5, concentrates on the improvement of girls' education, one school at a time. She now has helped 15 schools. A week ago, she was glowing with pride as she announced to me that the adolescent girls are now learning to code and program websites. It is my privilege to tell the world their story, to talk about their courage and their fortitude. Take, for example, that widow in a Kandahar village who was visiting a cousin, also a widow, only to find out that a newly arrived Taliban group had requisitioned her humble home. Teapot in one hand and 3 glasses in the others. She marched into the home to find 3 armed men sitting down on the floor. Respectfully greeting them, she set 1 glass in front of each man, poured some tea, and went to squat in a corner. She then proceeded to tell them the story of this house, how the husband had passed away, leaving behind a widow and several small children, how that widow relied on the little garden plot and its produce to feed her family, how the widow had no other resources and very few relatives. She kept on and on, pouring tea from time to time and disregarding their silence. After a couple of hours, the man in the middle, apparently their leader, grabbed the Kalashnikov nestled between his knees, stood up, and grumbled beneath his breath. "Come on, let's leave. Let the widow have back her home." There are many stories like these of the relentless struggle that Afghan women put up situation after situation. Their challenges are many, but their resolve is formidable. They are true everyday heroes. But even in the hard-to-reach areas, these women realize that that they are living in a globalized world. There is not a village in all of Afghanistan that does not count among its members several migrants, either to the neighboring countries or even to Europe, America, or Australia. Cell phones are now ubiquitous, and many a villager, man or woman, is now interested in learning how to read and write so as to be able to use SMS messaging. To the international community, the message of the women is loud and clear. Do not forget us. We still need your support and your encouragement. Keep on helping us stand on our own 2 feet. So many times these women have repeated to me the metaphor about fish and fishing. Do not give us fish. Instead, teach us how to fish. At the same time, they ask, please respect our priorities. Many of them have recounted how they were approached for their opinion before the implementation of a program, to only find out that their views were totally disregarded. For instance, to many, the gap between women residing in the cities and those in the provinces is a dangerous trend. Still, most international aid agencies confine themselves to the more secure urban areas. But this becomes a vicious circle. With no trained women to serve as teachers and nurses in the remote and insecure provinces, girls cannot go to school. Women die in child labor, and progress becomes increasingly inaccessible. Another of their pleas is, respect our traditions and our culture. Many well-meaning but ill-advised foreign aid workers assume that the prevailing lack of respect for women in Afghan society is a result of cultural and religious traditions. That is a reflection of their lack of knowledge regarding true pre-war Afghan culture and religion. In Afghanistan, the family unit is extremely important. The women of Afghanistan want to regain the respect they enjoyed within their families before the decades of civil war. They want their situation to improve from within society. They have no intention of turning their backs on their families or their communities. If a program targets violence against women, they would much rather have it called resolving issues within the family than protecting women's rights, or even worse, countering violence against women. Because once you start brandishing the slogan of women's rights, you immediately alienate the rest of society, who will then ask, what about men's rights? What women are striving for is to become increasingly important actors in their own societies. They want to be recognized as valuable partners to their fellow men at every stage of decision-making. Still, their most important plea to the world can be summed up by, we are tired of war. In the past 4 decades, too many foreign armies, foreign militias, and now foreign insurgents have swept through their villages. They have lost too many of their husbands, of their brothers, of their sons. They have seen for themselves that wars are senseless and often absurdly destructive. Wars never achieve their intended goals. Wars celebrate violence and deprive people of their humanity. In war, the most evil acts can be chalked out to survival. In war, people forget what is wrong and what is right. And once wars end, people remain dazed and shocked for a long time before they can begin to regain their sense of human dignity and treat each other with mutual respect. Fortunately, there are still in this world organizations such as the Asia Foundation and the Lotus Circle that supports it, who emphasize the need to build peaceful and prosperous societies. I would like to take this opportunity to thank them for their many years of dedicated service in Afghanistan. I am sure that in the process, you have touched many lives and contributed to the development of many Afghans. Indeed, thanks to a 2-year scholarship, my husband, the president, was able to attend Columbia University and earn a PhD in anthropology. Who knows what the course of history would have been had you not recognized his talent and given him the opportunities to further his knowledge. Won't you all join me in acknowledging the tremendous impact the Asia Foundation has had in bringing about hope and positive change to this part of the world?